I've been told if I really wanted to rain, like most of you, to wash my car before the event. So here I am washing my car, and for an extra boost, I got my lucky KSAT rain jacket on. But for an extra boost, I think I'll still lean on meteorologist Justin Horn, who is tracking everything we need to know about our true chances.
Nearly 44,000 people have cast their ballots during the first week of early voting. If you're like me and you haven't made it to the polls, we're going to get ready together to see what's on that ballot.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, I'm Sarah Costa.
And I am Daphne Gray, and if you're taking a look right now, you notice we do have a change of scenery looking over the city of San Antonio, and it's for a good reason because, as we can speak, it's kind of dry now. Humid.
Very humid, so humid. I can
change.
see the dew has created a really thick layer on our roof.
Yep.
But really all eyes on the weather this weekend. We have a lot of downtown events, and Justin, I know that we really need this rain, but happening during a busy San Antonio weekend.
You're exactly right, and I think we may be able to thread the needle here, guys. We shall see. The timing looks to be okay, but you point out the moisture, and the idea is that we need to turn some of that moisture into showers and storms. And I think the likelihood of that is pretty high as we get into tonight. And the reason being, we have an upper level low that is swinging through the four corners. This is going to be the impetus for our showers and storms tonight as it moves a little bit closer to Texas. It will give us the lift we need to get these storms going. So let me talk rain chances here. If you're planning out your day today, you don't need to worry too much. In fact, you may not even need to take an umbrella with you to work or school because the rain chances today in general are pretty low, 20% all the way through 9 o'clock. It's not until after dark tonight and really towards midnight that we start to see the rain chances go up. 50% at 11 p.m., 70% at 1 a.m., and that continues through about sunrise tomorrow. And that is the time frame in which we are expecting a threat for some stronger storms. The main issues we're going to have, and what we put down at the top of the list after much discussion with my fellow meteorologist, is street flooding. Now, I do want to point out the difference between street flooding and, say, river flooding and creek flooding. These storms are not just going to sit there. We're not looking for major flash flooding, but street flooding could be an issue. And you know the low water crossings that we're talking about that you want to avoid, especially considering this is going to be an overnight event. It will be dark outside, so let's keep that in mind. Wind, as these storms initially come through, there could be some severe wind gusts. Hail is a slightly lower threat, but it's possible in isolated spots, and the tornado threat is very low. So that's what we're thinking weather-wise. We're going to really dig into this forecast and walk you through the futurecast coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But now let's switch gears and talk traffic. Get you out the door this morning. If you're hitting the roads at this hour, we don't have a lot of issues out there. We are seeing one stall on our map there along 410. And then along I-35 here, we are detecting some slowdowns inbound. So this is all construction related, as you know, and if you travel I-35, you know how this goes. So that may cause some delays here and there. There's a quick check of TransGuide, 281 at Borgfeld, looking good there, and 281 at Wilderness Oak. Again, not seeing a lot of issues early on this Friday morning.
Hey there, good morning. So if you are driving through 410 right now and near Parambital, you're probably going to be seeing a lot of flashing light. This is what we're seeing right now here at the gyms along Parambital. We know that they got a call about a fire. So far, it sounds like this just might be a grease fire, but you could see the response from the fire department here is pretty heavy. We have seen some CPS energy workers here turning off the lights, making sure everything's okay. What we're hearing is right now you're seeing some of the firefighters on the roof there. They're actually checking the attic, making sure that the fire, whatever fire was there, if there was one, that it doesn't spread inside the walls and through the attic. And that is what you're seeing right now, right there. But it sounds like this is contained. So if this is the place where you're going to have breakfast this morning, you're probably going to want to change that location to somewhere else because this is the scene right now. Hopefully they're going to get this cleared up here in a little bit, but we're going to stay on the scene and bring you any updates. If we need to, we'll send it back to you.
Patty, thank you. Well, she was just feet away when police shot and killed her ex-boyfriend outside a San Antonio motel. So we've been following the story of 36-year-old Odin Paul Bustos since SAPD says he fired first at officers last Wednesday. This morning, we're hearing for the first time from the woman who called 911. She was staying at the Ramada Inn off of Highway 90 in West Military Drive last Wednesday. She said she dated Bustos for 2 years, but broke up with him after he went to jail. She says she tried to keep her distance, but still had some contact with him. She says last Wednesday, he was looking for her at the motel. She's asked us not to share her identity because she's afraid of retaliation and trying to find a way forward.
He was pointing the gun at me, so I ducked and I just ran around the hotel. And I didn't want it to happen like that. I mean, I knew he needed help and I was trying to tell everybody.
She's sharing her story as a warning to other women. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, help is available 24/7. We have all those local resources listed on KSAT.com.
And the trial for 3 San Antonio police officers will continue soon. So far, we got jurors who have heard what a former San Antonio police officer told investigators hours after he and 2 other former officers shot and killed a woman. Now, Alfred Flores was the lead officer on scene the night that Melissa Perez was shot and killed in her apartment in 2023. Well, yesterday, Detective Deanna Platt was on the witness stand, and she took down Flores's written statement the morning after the shooting. In his statement, Detective Platt says that he never asked for additional resources like the SAPD mental health unit on the night of the shooting.
Did he say that he considered asking for officers from the mental health unit?
No, he didn't.
Same objection, Judge. She doesn't.
Did he say in his statement that he considered calling for SWAT?
No, he didn't.
Now, if found guilty, all 3 officers face up to life in prison. And we're live streaming this trial gavel to gavel. It will resume on Monday. You can watch it on all of our streaming platforms.
Well, this morning, the New Braunfels Board of Trustees has voted to reopen middle and high school libraries starting on Monday. This all comes as the district says it's trying to comply with the newly passed Senate bill to ban harmful, indecent, or profane content in books at school. A list of 81 books is now on their website this morning, and they will begin reviewing these books to decide if they are Senate Bill 13 compliant or non-compliant, and will label them as such. So the bill bans books that are indecent or profane from being allowed in public school classrooms and libraries in Texas.
I'd like to bring up the Supreme Court case, Board of Education v. Pico, which ruled you cannot restrict the availability of books because you disagree with their ideas and/or content. Although this is a temporary closure, it is still a form of censorship because it restricts my access to the books within the library.
I want to commend y'all for doing what's right. I want to commend y'all for having a backbone and standing up. The reason the state has to keep stepping in and banning cell phones in schools and banning library books is because regular school district boards are not doing it.
Parents in the district are still able to restrict their own child's access to books via their online portal for the district.
NBA headlines turned upside down this morning. Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier are among more than 30 people charged in a massive federal gambling investigation. A prosecutor said that the schemes, one involving insider sports betting, another rigging poker's games, stretched for years and funneled tens of millions in illegal profits. Well, Brooklyn's U.S. attorney calls it one of the most brazen sports corruption cases since online betting went legal. New Seattle images show a stunning sight of the White House. The 120-year-old East Wing is now reduced to rubble, but 6 trees, including historic magnolias honoring Presidents Harding and Roosevelt, also being cleared, making way for President Donald Trump's planned 90,000-square-foot ballroom. The White House says the historic artifacts are being preserved, but the demolition comes as the government shutdown hits day 24, with hundreds of thousands of federal workers now missing paychecks. Dramatic new video out of Paris showing Hollywood-style getaway after a $102 million jewel heist at the Louvre. Now, the clip recorded by museum security staff shows the 2 thieves lowering themselves from the Apollo Gallery on the cherry picker and then speeding off on motorcycles with the loot. Investigators confirmed that they're analyzing the video for clues, calling this one of the most daring art thefts in recent memory.
Once again, San Antonio showed what it's all about. you, the viewers. You helped us raise $21,000 for Meals on Wheels. Last night, KSAT Community finished a phone bank to raise money for Meals on Wheels San Antonio. A week ago, we told you the federal cuts could have cost hundreds of seniors to lose meal services. The nonprofit has received help since, and today's support put them over the top. So we just want to thank everyone who donated in keeping our seniors fed.
All right, outside with live cam, it is 6:08, 71 degrees this morning, cloudy and humid, of course, setting the stage for what we're expecting tonight. That is quite a bit of thunderstorm activity. This is all going to be overnight after midnight, but it could be a little bit loud for you going into Saturday morning. We'll take another look at that forecast coming up.
So there's a question out there asking if violent offenders should be denied bail. An issue on the ballot this November could make it happen. Next, what Bexar County leaders think about it.
I think it's kind of definitely dreamlike, just thinking about something and it's happening.
A new breakthrough is helping people with spinal cord injuries feel again. This morning, how one man is playing music and regaining sensation only using his brain.
Hi there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos here at 410 and Parambital. We want to give you an update on this fire here at this restaurant, the Jim's restaurant at this location. Just got a chance to talk to the fire department here. Really quickly, this was just a grease fire. The cooks were inside getting ready for their morning rush when something on the grease caught fire, and then it burned up pretty good, they said. So it's going to be a little while before they get a chance to go in there and clean up. But you can see the firefighters are already kind of wrapping up stuff and getting ready to head out the door this morning. But again, just wanted to give you an update. It looks like this Jim's is going to be closed at least for the first part of the morning as they get things cleaned up. Nobody was hurt, so that is the good news. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Patty. We'll be following that throughout this morning. Okay, bail reform is on the ballot this November.
The new legislation recently passed by state lawmakers made changes, but some of those require voter approval. So bail reform is one of 16 amendments on the ballot that would change the state constitution.
Erica Hernandez breaking down what's changing and what Bexar County officials think about it.
Governor Greg Abbott signed a sweeping bail reform legislation this summer, a move aimed at keeping offenders deemed dangerous behind bars before trial. That includes several key changes. SB 9 bans personal bonds for some offenders and gives prosecutors the ability to appeal a judge's bail decision. SB 40 blocks funding for nonprofits that post bail. HB 75 adds transparency, requiring magistrate judges explaining in writing why they grant or deny bail.
The idea of transparency regarding bail decisions is always a good thing.
Senior Bexar County District Court Judge Ron Rangel, for the most part, is okay with the changes, but also says a lot of it will lie with the district attorney's office. Prosecutors must present strong arguments when a defendant poses a serious threat.
The concept of folks that are a serious threat to society, having the ability for prosecutors to prevent that type of evidence to keep somebody from getting bail is not necessarily a bad thing. So as long as the DA's office does their job in providing these sorts of folks to the judges, then the judges can do their role.
Another piece of this bail reform package is Senate Joint Resolution 5. This would expand the list of offenses that bail can be denied for, such as murder, aggravated sexual assault. But because it's a change to the Constitution, it'll be up to the voters to decide when it's put on a ballot in November.
Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says the goal is safety, but it could have side effects.
Yes, we all want to lock away dangerous criminals, right? No debate on that as far as I'm concerned. But also realize that it comes with a price tag attached to it, and we've also got to be cognizant of that.
Besides the resolution, most of the new changes went into effect on September 1st. Voters now decide on the constitutional changes. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And right now, that's not the only thing happening downtown this weekend. Paul McCartney also be playing at the Alamo Dome. So city leaders want to make sure folks can get around safely and quickly. And we're talking about some major events that are happening downtown. Again, things are expected on Saturday night near the Alamo Dome along I-37. There are other options besides driving yourself. Park and ride services and others, of course, using rideshare company. We have several resources to help you finalize your weekend plans on KSAT.com.
And St. Pius X Catholic Church wants to invite you to its Halloween festival this evening. People can enjoy games, food, and even a haunted house. Wristbands are $20 at the door. The event goes from 6 to 9 p.m. at 3303 Urban Crest on the city's northeast side.
That time of year.
I
Here we
love
are.
seeing all the different Halloween carnivals and festivals. But tonight, can people expect any of these festivals? Like Muertos Fest is kicking off at 5 p.m. at Hemisphere tonight.
We're okay.
We're okay.
We're okay. If you want to go to the Pumpkin Patch tonight, we're okay.
Let's
it's
go.
not until, at least here in San Antonio, until midnight that
Okay.
things start to get a little bit rough with the storm. So yes, Friday night evening plans looking good. Let's get you out on the roads. And you know, Japhanie mentioned that there's so much going on downtown tonight, or not tonight, this weekend, I should say. So please do keep that in mind because you got Paul McCartney, you got Muertos Fest. There is just, it's so very busy. And so downtown's going to be a little bit congested. Not only that, 1604 is expected to close westbound near the I-10 interchange, so that will cause some issues this weekend. It's pretty typical stuff, but we just want to make sure you know about it. And also the fact that we've got some slowdowns in the inbound lanes of I-35 as you're coming into town. So far, by the way, we have not had any crashes this morning, knock on wood. It has all just been construction and just a couple slowdowns here and there. But this one, right into Selma, you're seeing some slowdowns, and then just past 1604 is coming inbound, southbound on I-35. And where Patty is this morning at that Jim's there on 410, there could be a few slowdowns as folks, you know, kind of take in what's going on there. But it sounds like they're starting to see things improve there, and hopefully the situation will be rectified soon. Drive times, because of that construction there on I-35, it is a 54-minute commute from New Braunfels, and that's the one commute where we are seeing some issues this morning. All right, let's talk weather now and take a look at what's going on outside. We've got cloudy skies, humid conditions, 71 degrees at the airport, 70 in New Braunfels, 70 in Converse, 68 Bernie. Easterly winds are pretty light this morning, but it is humid. And the futurecast here, man, it's been very consistent, and that isn't always the case with these computer models, but you like it when they're this consistent because we can be pretty certain about the forecast. This is 5 p.m. tonight. And as I said, if you have Friday evening plans, Friday night football, it looks good. Just a 20% chance of rain. It is overnight tonight. This is midnight that we start to see those changes. I would say as early as 10 p.m. for folks in Rock Springs, Junction, parts of the hill country, these storms will start to roll on. But for San Antonio, it's midnight. And these storms will move through with some gusty winds. We could see some severe weather, but we may also see some heavy rain, especially if it sticks around through, say, 7 a.m., which is a possibility. This still shows a couple leftover storms at this point on your Saturday morning. A couple things to keep in mind. Low water crossings. If we see some street flooding, you know the places that you want to avoid. It's going to be dark until, obviously, sunrise Saturday. So that's a point where flooding can be pretty dangerous, and we want to be so very careful. Now, do you think we get a break in the action, and then by the afternoon, evening hours on Saturday, there could be some additional storms that develop? Now, there is still the potential for a couple of strong storms, but in this case, it'll be isolated to scattered activity. So it won't be one big complex of storms. So you still can probably get some of your plans in. Just please be aware of the situation of the weather. And we'll of course, be here to keep you updated through a KSAT weather app and online and on air as well. 72 degrees, 8 a.m. this morning, 74 at 9 a.m. noontime, 82. At that point, a 20% chance of rain, and it's 20% all the way through 6 o'clock. Our high temperature today will still be up around 90, so still plenty warm. The severe weather risk today, pretty widespread across Texas, I might say. It's on a scale of 1 to 5, a 2 here in San Antonio, and that's a bit of an update in most of our areas within that range. So it's a slightly elevated risk of severe weather. And as we said, gusty winds, street flooding, a little bit of hail, those are going to be the main threats. As you plan out your weekend, Saturday, we get some lingering rain in the morning, then a 40% chance of storms in the afternoon, 86. 90 on Sunday, drier and quiet. And this is a stat that's pretty astounding. We've had 19 days this month at 90 or above, and it looks like we're going to surpass the old record of 19 days, which was set back in 1947, because we've got more 90-degree days on the way, including Sunday and Monday, once we get past this little rainy period here. But then we do finally get a cold front, and it looks so much better middle part and end of next week. We'll get highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. Right now, Halloween looks pretty comfortable, but we may have to dodge a shower or two, so stay tuned for that forecast. All right, this morning, we're going to get to our Just Ask Justin question in a little bit, and it comes from a viewer. It's a good one, so you'll want to stay tuned for that.
All right, thank you, Justin. And hey, for everyone looking at the weather this weekend, the Weather Authority app.
Yes, it's a good one to have.
All right,
Yeah.
Thank you. It's 622, 71 degrees.
Imagine playing the piano using just your thoughts. Up next, a groundbreaking new technology that's helping people with spinal cord injuries do just that.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a groundbreaking development for people with spinal cord injuries.
You're going to play the piano with your brain.
Yes.
It's a cutting-edge brain-computer interface, or BCI, from the University of Pittsburgh and the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute. And this morning we're showing you how one trial participant can feel again through a robotic arm.
Right now it's feeling like a tingle and a pressure.
Wow. Can you tell the difference that I'm squeezing each different finger pad?
Yep. I think it's kind of definitely dreamlike, just thinking about something and it's happening.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on this medical breakthrough. With your GMA First Look, I'm Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
All right, yesterday's pollen count molds were moderate at 520. Ragweed is low. We'll take a look at today's pollen count coming up here in just a couple hours when we get it in. And meantime, your Just Ask Justin question this morning. What do you call a group of ravens? A murder, an annoyance, unkindness, or flamboyance? You can weigh in. The answer comes your way in 30 minutes. And there's the question. Right now, murder leading the way with 48% of the vote. There's a QR code, ksat.com/poll. Again, that answer in just half an hour.
If you plan on hitting the road overnight tonight, your windshield may look like this, covered in water, hard to see through while it's dark outside. The meteorologist Justin Horn is tracking the exact timing and the impact of these expected storms, so you'll know the safest time to get on the road. Plus, there's so many different events happening this weekend, but the question is, will we all be standing in the line in rainy conditions like this, or will there be dry conditions? Ainsley, cut the hose.
Got it.
Our weather authority is tracking everything by the minute.
Nearly 44,000 people have cast their ballots during the first week of early voting. If you're like me and you haven't made it to the polls, we're going to get ready together to see what's on that ballot.
Over 80 altars, a tribute to the legendary Flaco Jimenez, and an extra day of fun. We are talking all things Muertos Fest. I'm Sarah Acosta. How you can catch the fun without even heading down the hemisphere.
Ladies, listen up, because this can directly impact your scalp. We're talking about a curling iron recall to tell you about, the brand that you maybe should stop using before you get burned.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
You know, after being on the roof this morning, I need that curling iron again, because this hair, y'all, I've been fighting it all morning.
I'm there in that battle with you, and it's going to be a hair in the ponytail hat day, ladies. Yes. And gentlemen, too, if you have the long, luscious locks. Justin, all eyes on the weather this weekend, and particularly overnight.
Yeah, is that a shot at the fact that I'm balding a little bit?
Oh, no, you're not bald. I see a little fuzz coming up, man.
Justin.
You got a little fro starting up.
But you're not wrong. There's a lot of humidity out there this morning, and the hope is that this does turn into some rain and we don't get a lot of severe weather. Hopefully it's just, you know, we fill up the rain gauge tonight and that would be the end of it. However, there is a threat there. We want to make sure you're aware of the fact that we could see some gusty winds, some street flooding, namely. We'll get into all that. Let's take a look at what's going on at the moment and why we expect rain tonight. It all has to do with this upper level low, which right now is spinning out over the Four Corners region, but notice it's moving east. It's going to dive south a little bit too. So it arrives to Texas. It's a slow mover, but it gives us the lift that we need to get some showers and storms going. And we already see some activity off to our north and west. But for us, the rain does not arrive, at least to San Antonio, until midnight tonight. So 5 p.m., just a 20% chance of rain today, even 7 and 9 o'clock. So your Friday dinner plans, as we've been saying, all your Friday evening plans should be just fine. It's overnight, going to midnight into 7 a.m. Saturday morning, where these storm chances really do increase. Now, it could wake you up if you're sleeping at that point. And again, the threat for a couple strong storms is there. Street flooding, I think, really does top the list. And we want to make it clear that this is not river and stream flooding. More so, it's street flooding. And you know, the low water crossings those sort of things that you want to avoid, especially if it's dark outside. Those are the things we're going to be looking for late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Could see some gusty winds initially with this line of storms too. And hail isolated, but we can't rule it out, and the tornado threat is very low. So that's what we're thinking for tonight. All right, let's switch gears, talk traffic now, and we'll look out on the roads this morning. And we do have a couple of issues starting to crop up. Now, these are stalls, so they're not going to be big deals, but we are noticing that there are some slowdowns on the northeast side and then the far west side. These are pretty typical. This incident here, this is just a broken down vehicle on the shoulder. It's coming inbound on 90, but we know 90, the volume picks up right about this time, so that could cause a few slowdowns as people pass by that stalled vehicle. And again, if you're on the northeast side, construction has been slowing things down through the Selma and Schertz area, and then back down towards Rittiman and south of 1604. So that's tacking on quite a bit of time to your commute if you're coming inbound. Quick check of some of the TransGuide cameras. We don't detect anything out of the ordinary, other than you can see a lot of humidity there in those street lights. And again, those rain chances kick in tonight. More on all of that coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, this morning we got a man in the hospital after he allegedly tried to force his way into a CPS Energy power plant. The incident happened at the front of the gate of Calaveras Power Station along Highway 181 South. According to a statement by CPS Energy, a man tried to ram his vehicle through the gates of the Calaveras power plant. Security at that gate fired their weapon at the man, hitting him in the lower body. He's been taken to the hospital. No word on his condition as of this morning, but CPS did say that the plant is secure and that they're working with Bexar County Sheriff's Office to investigate the incident.
Hey there, good morning, San Antonio. We are just wrapping up the first week of early voting. We wanted to take a drive down here in the downtown area of the hemisphere. This is a site where, if county voters decide, the new Spurs Arena would be built. You could see the construction that's going on, the demolition of the building that was here. Propositions A and B for Bexar County are the big ones that we're looking at. So far, about 44,000 people have voted during early voting here in Bexar County. A little over 10,000 did that just yesterday. And let's talk about the race for the Texas Senate. That's heating up for both sides of the aisle. A former San Antonio teacher is now aiming for one of the Texas's highest offices. James Tallarico, who once taught in the city's west side, is running for U.S. Senate. The Texas state rep is currently on the campaign trail and tracking an unconventional approach, appearing on platforms and outlets that really don't usually typically feature Democrats.
Went on the Joe Rogan podcast. I've been on Fox News. I've been on the Christian Broadcasting Network. I'm going to be going places where you don't typically expect a Democrat. I'm going to be talking to people that Democrats don't always talk to. And I think that kind of campaign is what's needed in this election cycle.
For the full interview, you can head to our website, KSAT.com, scan the QR code right there on your screen. In the primary, Tallarico is running against former Congressman Colin Allred, and we're going to have an interview with him later this evening right here on KSAT. Election day is November 4th, and of course we have all the information that you need. The ballot, what's on the ballot, where do I go to vote, what time are the polls open, all of that information on ksat.com/vote. We'll send it back to you.
Patty, thank you. Well, it's not the ending people wanted, but police in Schertz found the body of a 19-year-old who hadn't been seen in the area since late last week. So we first brought you this story on Tuesday. Zacharias Stallings was last seen this past weekend on Saturday in the neighborhood that you see off your screen right now on I-35 northbound. Officers found Stallings yesterday afternoon in a field near I-35 and Schwab Road, just a few miles away from where he was last seen. Police used a drone to find his bodies. Officials say Stallings had Asperger's syndrome.
Now, this morning, we got a former Hondo ISD teacher accused of having an improper relationship with a student. In a post on Facebook, the Hondo Police Department says that the 24-year-old Thomas Williams Ricker Hill arrested after an alleged offense on the Hondo High School campus. He faces a litany of charges, including indecency with a child by sexual contact. Hondo PD also says that Hill is no longer employed by Hondo ISD.
Well, a massage that was anything but relaxing is why San Antonio police say this man on your screen is facing sexual assault charges. That's Cody Jackson. San Antonio police say a client accused him of assault during a massage session. Investigators say it happened in July at Massage Envy near Loop 410 and State Highway 151. Now, according to the State Department of Licensing and Regulation, Jackson's massage therapist and instructor licenses were suspended. This happening on October 20th. That means he can't offer massages or teach massage therapy classes in Texas until these assault charges are cleared. In your morning consumer headlines, J&D Brush is recalling thousands of hair curling irons due to a burn hazard. The product is the Bio-Ionic 1-inch long barrel curling iron. According to Consumer Product Safety Commission, the barrel of the curling iron can snap and come off, creating a burn hazard. The recall covers roughly 357,000 units. The impacted units were sold in stores and online from August of 2022 through July of 2024, and they cost about $165. If you have one of these affected curling irons, you should stop using it and contact Bio-Ionic to register for a free replacement.
All right, 6:39 right now, coming off that big win in Dallas. Your San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight. Spurs will be in New Orleans to take on the Pelicans in another Southwest Division matchup. Game starting at 7 p.m. Go Spurs, go! Let's go, Justin.
Go Wemby.
Yeah, well, right now we are technically in first place. I think we stay there. What a great squad we have this year. Hey, severe weather risk today encompasses a large portion of the state, including San Antonio. We'll show you what to expect with those storms tonight coming up. And out on the roads, we are seeing some issues here and there. We're going to talk more about that traffic situation as well coming up.
We're not going to be able to close until the USDA reopens.
Now, if you're packing up your new home and you imagine only to find out that you can't move in, the government shutdown putting real families' dreams on hold, while first-time home buyers everywhere are feeling that same frustration. 6:43. Welcome back. This morning, the government shutdown, the second longest in U.S. history.
As Lee Wallman reports, it's impacting seemingly all aspects of life, including the dreams of many home buyers.
Of course, the government shut down, and so my lender got back in touch with me, and she said, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to close until the USDA reopens.
Chase Franklin had everything set for his move from North Dakota to Kansas, including a U.S. Department of Agriculture-backed mortgage to buy a home. Now that plan has come to a screeching halt.
There was a full gamut of emotions. I mean, there was anger, there was frustration. I mean, there was like, why is this happening now?
He's not alone. Anthony Smith, a senior economist with Realtor.com, says homebuyers all over the U.S. are feeling the impact of the shutdown.
It will be a difficult position to be put in as a first-time home buyer because that's going to be really one of the biggest cohorts that are going to be impacted by this.
Before the shutdown, the skyrocketing prices of homes brought the housing industry to a slowdown. But the first government shutdown in nearly 7 years is impacting both rural and urban areas.
The housing market was definitely somewhat frigid, and so this adds more chill to a situation that didn't need any more cooling off altogether.
The longer this shutdown stretches on, Smith says the greater impact it's going to have on the industry as a whole and the more uncertainty it will breed. As for Franklin, he's got a clear message to the lawmakers in D.C.
Recognize that the decisions that you are making are impacting far more people than you realize, and that the decisions that you're making are also affecting voters who will remember this when it comes around to election season.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
All right, 80 altars, 2 processions this year, an extra day of Muertos Fest, all kicking off today at 5 o'clock at Hemisphere. And if you can't go, you can still be part of the tradition without leaving your home, because KSAT will air a special rebroadcast of the event on Wednesday. So you join myself, Ernie Zuniga, and SA Live's Jen Tobias Stresky on October 29th at 8 p.m.
Also this weekend, Paul McCartney be playing at the Alamo Dome. City leaders want to make sure that people can get around safely and quickly, of course, and the heaviest traffic expected on Saturday night. That's going to be near the Alamo Dome along I-37, and there are going to be options besides driving yourself, which is great news. Via's free park and ride service, and they got the rideshare companies out and about. We have several resources to help you finalize your weekend plans. Again, all that can be found at KSAT.com.
Great information, thank you. And we have our first crash of the morning. I want to take you down to 410 and Old Pearsall Road. So here on the southwest side is where we are getting now reports of a crash, and we can see this on TransGuide. Look at the backup. This is going to cause some big problems. We believe this is in the northbound lanes. This is causing some backup. So, well, the far left lane looks closed, but I'm also seeing some flashing lights on that side of the freeway as well. So we'll have to see what all this is impacting, but I would imagine you're going to start to see some pretty hefty backups, really in both directions, it seems, there on 410 on the southwest side. And I do believe Alex Gomez is headed in that direction. Let's check in with Alex and see where he is at this moment. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, Justin. So that's where we're on our way to. We are on 35 southbound. This is near Palo Alto Road. And this direction seems to be all right, but I just know that once we hit that 410, 35 interchange, things are definitely going to start to slow down. And we're hearing reports that both sides of 410 are going to be affected right there by Old Pearsall Road. So we'll give you an update once we get closer to the scene. Justin.
Alex, I do appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, this week on Pickup Lines, a candid conversation with San Antonio award-winning chef Jason Dady. He is celebrating 25 years in the culinary business in 2025. Dady was born in Nebraska and didn't move to Texas until the 7th grade. In the last quarter century, by his estimate, Dady has opened or created more than 24 restaurants and concepts. His latest includes big plans for a popular area along the river walk called Mexico City.
25,000 square foot of everything that you love about the food of Mexico, coast to coast, top to bottom, north to south. So it's my passion project, and I cannot wait to show everybody because it's taking a long time,
Man.
But it's going to be amazing.
The latest episode of Pickup Lines premieres at 5:30 and replays at 7:30 this evening on the free KSAT Plus app. You can watch it now on KSAT.com. Just search Pickup Lines.
All right, let's get into the forecast now. And yes, we are expecting a chance, our best chance for rain in a long, long time tonight. But I'm going to start the futurecast here, and this is what we'll get at, the future radar, at 5 p.m. this evening. And notice we may have a couple of showers here and there, but there's really not going to be a lot on the Authority radar. It's going to hold off until, I'd say, initially 10 o'clock tonight. That's when storms start to roll in across the northwestern part of our viewing area. And then midnight for San Antonio. This is midnight, and those storms will be right on our doorstep at that point. And then roll through. We may continue to see some showers and storms through sunrise tomorrow. And some of these storms could be heavy. Some of them could be strong. Gusty winds, street flooding, again, the main concerns. But even going into Saturday afternoon, we could see a few more storms develop. This will be more isolated, scattered Saturday afternoon, so I would say keep your Saturday plans, but be prepared for 1 or 2 strong storms to pop up. Rain chances today will kick up to 20% at noontime, and we'll keep it at 20% through 6 o'clock. High temperatures around 89. Again, the better rain chances do not come until overnight tonight, and that's the point in which we could pick up some pretty good rainfall. 1 to 2 inches here around San Antonio on points north, even bigger totals off to our north and east, lower numbers as you go to the south for places like Pleasanton and Cotulla. So to put it all together for you, we're going to go 20% chance of rain today, 70% chance overnight tonight, roughly midnight to 7 a.m. Saturday, 40% chance Saturday afternoon. We heat up, dry out on Sunday, 90, 93 Monday, but a good front rolls through Tuesday, brings breezy winds and much cooler weather. 50s for lows Wednesday and Thursday morning, highs in the 70s. That sounds more like it. All right, let's get into our Just Ask Justin question this morning. And this question is actually a viewer question and comes from Deborah, who asked, what do you call a group of ravens? She noticed there's been more and more ravens in San Antonio, especially at the school that she works at. And she wanted to know, what do you call them? A murder, an annoyance, an unkindness, or a flamboyance? The viewers have weighed in, and it's a close call between murder and unkindness.
I'm going with the worst of them all, and because it's a Halloween month, and I think of Freddy Krueger, murder.
I'm going with an unkindness. I trust the viewers.
Okay.
I just can't wait to see how this is used in a sentence.
Well, guess what?
What?
You're right. It is unkindness.
Using it in a sentence.
I did not know this. Man, an unkindness of ravens came through. I don't know. Murder is crows. An annoyance or plague is grackles, and a flamboyance are flamingos.
Oh, that's fitting for the flamingo.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, crows, murder reminds me of, you know, Birds, the movie.
Yes.
Peter King.
Hitchcock.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That one. Excuse me. Here we go. On GMSA Plus coming up today, got dozens of people who spoke at the special called New Braunfels ISD board meeting. And this was after the closure of the middle and high school libraries in the district. We're going to have a look at that, how that could impact the district at large.
And this is the backup that you're going to see on the southwest side because that rollover crash on 410 near Old Pearsall Road. Now, this right here, this is going to be the 410 I-35 interchange. I was coming down I-35 southbound, and like I was saying last time, you just come right to a halt. So far, I've been in this for a little under 10 minutes now, but just know that 410 on both sides near Old Pearsall Road, the north and the southbound lanes are going to be slow because of that crash. Is that what you're seeing as well, Justin?
It is, and let's give you some perspective on what Alex is talking about here with our maps. And this is the crash right here. We'll take you down to the southwest side. As he pointed out, both sides of the freeway here affected, and you can see all the flashing lights. We have a left lane closed here, and then there are flashing lights even in the southbound lanes. And look at all the brake lights. This is going to be a big problem for at least a while longer. So please note, southwest side crash there at 410 and Old Pearsall Road, causing some major backups. All right, now on to weather. Our forecast today, high of 89, just a 20% chance of rain through the day, but we do know that there will be much better rain chances tonight. Storms after midnight could see some strong weather, strong storms, and some pretty heavy rain, guys.
All right, definitely something we're going to be tracking throughout GMSA Plus, including the fact that, hey, you got a week left to cast your ballot for this yearly November election.
On November 4th.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Justin. But don't go anywhere. We're going to see you on KSAT Plus in just a bit.